Good morning, friends. In my last video, I discussed the broad structure of the framework for social stock exchange and the eligibility criteria for the NGOs to register themselves with the social stock exchange. As you know, more the disclosure, greater the transparency, and with that comes greater accountability. I repeat, as you know, more the disclosure, greater the transparency, and with that comes greater accountability. Taking it forward, today we would like to discuss the minimum initial disclosure requirements that the organization shall require after the registration on social stock exchange and in order to prepare a good fundraising document. So let us see the framework for raising funds from investors under the social stock exchange. First and foremost is the vision. The management should be thorough with its vision, the approach towards it, and the programs and projects that will help in achieving its long-term goals. Next comes the target segment. Clarity should be there on the beneficiaries of the project and the reach to accomplish its planned activities. In this section, the organization should clearly spell out the problem and how the target beneficiaries have been impacted. Also, what improvement and impact on the community they are foreseeing through the implementation of their programs. The third comes the strategy. How the organization is structuring the program and formulating a strategical implementation of the same, which shall lead to the accomplishment of the vision. Next comes the governance. The details of the governing body and its composition, key agenda of the meetings and the dates on which they are held shall also be required to be disclosed. This further implies the organization need to be very strong in the secretarial records and governance matters. Fifth comes the management. Not only the governing body, the details of the key managerial personnel, I repeat, not only the governing body, but the details of the key managerial personnel such as the head of each department also needs to be disclosed. The HR requirements including appointment letters of staff defining their roles and responsibilities, periodic performance appraisals, etc. shall be required. This further implies structured HR policy. I repeat, structured HR policy shall now be a mandate if the organization is looking forward to list itself on the platform of social stock exchange. Next comes operations. The area of operations with detailed addresses about its physical presence is a must disclosure in order to be transparent enough for any investor to visit the place and check out themselves. Then comes the finance. The audited financial statements of the organization for the last 3 years is also required to be disclosed. This, in our opinion, will be one of the most important disclosure which will actually give a fact check of the capability of the organization to manage the funds and its utilization. Any material irregularities should be reported separately. Next in line is compliance. The organization need to be transparent enough to disclose the details of all the legal notices, income tax matters and FCRA matters if they are registered under FCRA, or for that matter any other pending litigations against the organization. Then comes credibility. A brief profile of the organization containing all its registration details under various acts and remuneration given to the governing body members or the trustees, and for that matter any related party transactions or key transactions should be highlighted and reported. The next comes social impact. Now this, in our opinion, shall be the pivotal point of all the disclosures. Yes, the impact on its beneficiaries and the change its program has brought on the community as a whole shall be the most crucial and deciding factor for the investors to provide funds. So, supported by the photographs, list of the beneficiaries, feedback forms and the social impact report will give a real picture of before and after the program implementation. It should be kept handy by each organization thinking of listing themselves on social stock exchange. At last comes the disclosure of risk. With any investments comes the risk. So, the investors should be apprised of all the risks in the working of the organization and how the management is trying to mitigate the same. So friends, as I said in my earlier video, just not your eligibility for registration that should matter, but it is the readiness to adapt yourself to the kind of disclosures which shall be required to be given is equally important before deciding to enlist yourself on the platform of social stock exchange. We will continue the social stock exchange series with other important aspects of the framework. Till then, keep watching our channel and don't forget to subscribe it, put your notifications on, and for any clarifications, feel free to contact us or comment below. Thank you.